Hey guys, so let me ask you a question. It's mid-morning or mid-afternoon. You're hungry. You want a snack. You want something to pick me up. What are you going to eat? Are you going to grab a piece of fruit? Or are you going to go down to, if you're on your job, are you going to go down to the machine and grab you something out of the machine? Are you going to open your desk drawer and grab your favorite granola bar? Or are you going to get you a sweet drink? It's middle afternoon and you've already had your lunch and you're going to send somebody to get you a milkshake or a smoothie or some kind of sweet drink. What are you going to do? Let's talk about that. There's a lot, if you go online, there is a lot of information that'll have these fruits on the least amount of sugar group, and then it'll have them on the most amount of sugar group. In other words, they'll say this fruit's good for you, and some people say the exact same fruit is bad for you. Why is that? It's a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of doctors online that lost weight and have kept it off, and I really respect the doctor that lost weight and kept it off, and now he's trying to help people lose weight. I really respect him for that. But we're going to get into some fruits here, good and bad, and kind of the reasonings for it. Now, I used to tell people when I was a weight loss coach, and you get hungry, and it's mid-afternoon, and you don't have anything to eat, like a leftovers or something from a good meal, to eat you a piece of fruit, an apple. I used to always say that, to use an apple. Well, I got beat up by people online. In some of my videos here, you can see people beating them. Well, that apple's got sugar in it. I'm like, yep, I realize that. But we got to think for a minute. What are you going to eat at 10 a.m. in the morning? You're on your job, been there 2, 3, 4 hours. You're tired. You already could take you a little nap. What are you going to eat? Are you going to go down to the snack machine and get you a Snickers bar? A lot of people will. Are you going to get the donuts that people ate for breakfast? And you may have had some for breakfast. A lot of people are going to eat those donuts. What are you going to do? Are you going to reach in your drawer and pull out a granola bar, which granola is another word for candy, in case you don't know that. Mid-afternoon, what are you going to do? Well, on a lot of jobs, they send somebody down, especially if you're working in an office or different places, they send somebody down to get everybody a milkshake or to get some kind of smoothie or go buy some kind of junk. That's just what we do. So I'm talking about people here who need to get the weight off, who want desperately to lose weight. And so I always said that piece of fruit, that apple, is better for you than the milkshake or whatever else you're going to get. Most likely the donuts, that apple is better for you. If you eat the apple and you're still hungry, eat a second apple. Well, today I'm going to get into these, how much sugar's in different fruits, and I'm measuring by a cup. And I've done the research. And like I said, and I'll point out a couple fruits that are on the good side and the bad side. Which side's correct? I don't know. But just think about your choices. When you're trying to get that weight off, think about your choices. It's very important. So let me put on my readers here. So we're going to talk about the most sugar in fruits with the most sugar in them, and we're going by cup. Going by cup. And I don't have these, well, I don't have them in the exact order, but that doesn't matter. A cup of cherries. A cup of cherries, if you like cherries, has 17 grams of sugar. Mangoes. If you would eat a cup of mangoes, it's about 22 grams of sugar. Figs. I don't like figs, but a lot of people do. Figs have 29.3 grams of sugar in a cup. That's a lot. Here we go with our pears and apples. What I would tell people, eat 13 grams. 13 grams in an apple or a pear. 13 or 14, right around in there, it says. So you need to look at that as opposed to the donuts you're going to eat, or as opposed to the milkshake you're going to get, or whatever you're going to get. I always tell people, turn your package over and read it. Bananas. People tell people eat bananas all the time. Oh, you need the potassium. I don't like bananas, so I don't eat them, although some smoothies that I get, they put it in there, and I really just don't like the taste, but they don't put a whole lot in there. But it's about 18.3 grams of sugar in a banana. A lot of people, when I dealt with obese clients, they ate a lot of bananas. Good for them. They thought it was. Orange. An orange has 14 grams of sugar. Nectarines is right around the same. The most that I found is something that we all love, mangoes. A cup of mangoes has 45 grams of sugar. That's like pure candy. 45 grams of sugar. And now I know some of these have vitamin C in, which is good for you, vitamin K, different things, but you know, I'm just putting the word out on the sugar in these. Grapes. A lot of people love grapes. I love grapes, but we overeat grapes. It's hard to eat 1 cup of grapes. You can sit there and eat a whole bag of grapes. So when you eat a cup of grapes, you're taking in 23 grams of sugar. That's just a cup. You're probably going to eat a couple cups of grapes. Grapefruit. Who would ever think something sour like a grapefruit had all this sugar in it? It's got 15 grams. Kiwi's got 16 grams. A pineapple, 16 grams of sugar. A pomegranate, 23 grams of sugar. So, of the list of the ones with the most sugar in them, the pears and apple are right there at about the least. 13, 14, oranges 14, grapefruit. But I still say, look at the package on what you're going to eat, or what the milkshake you're going to drink, or the sweet drink you're going to get. Look at that. Okay, let's talk about fruits with the least sugar. What you should try to eat for that snack when you're trying to lose weight. Number one, this is crazy, blows my mind, and I'm going to put a little side thing with this: avocados. 1 piece of avocado only has a half a gram of sugar, folks. A half a gram of sugar. The problem with avocados is, what are you eating it with? Most people are getting a big bag of potato chips, some kind of chips. Look at those chips. Look at what those chips have in them. Now, if you go get the good biscuits or the good chips, you can buy the good healthy chips. Make sure you read the package. A lot of things, just because something says healthy don't mean it's healthy. But if you get something good to eat with that avocado, man, half a gram of sugar. You can't beat avocado. Strawberries we think would have a lot of sugar. They got about 7 grams a cup. So you're okay with that. Cantaloupe only has about 5 grams. 5 grams, actually a medium wedge of cantaloupe has about 5 grams. Raspberries, 5 grams. 5 grams in a cup of raspberries. Blackberries, a little bit more. They got like 7 grams. And blueberries, I had to Google this, and wow, I forgot what it said. I think blueberries was right around that 7-8 grams of sugar a cup. Although, you know, blueberries are really good for us in a lot of different ways. So what you need to do is, you can use Google, or you can use ChatGPT and Google any fruit you're going to eat, or ChatGPT it and find out what's in it. You can do that with the food you're going to eat and make a comparison. Because if you're desperately trying to lose weight, and your mid-morning snack and an afternoon snack are full of sugar, you're killing your chances of losing the weight. That's why you might say to your weight loss coach, well, I'm not eating bad. I eat this. But it's your snacks that are killing you, folks. So what's the best way to eat your fruit? Well, obviously the best way to eat it is raw, like it is. The worst are juices. And I have to say this, women love their fruit juices. They love them. And it's terrible for you. Also, and I'm guilty of this, but I have been cutting back, your bags, trail mixes and stuff with the dried fruit, because of the drying process, it leaves the sugar in it. It's really bad for you. So dried, and again, you can Google the bag of trail mix or whatever you're buying and look at the package, but then Google to find out what it says, or chat GPT it and find out what it says. Also, a lot of places that make smoothies, you need to check and see if their fruit, when they say they got fruit in it, what kind of fruit is it? A lot of them have frozen, just like in the bottom of a yogurt cup. It's not really fruit. It's not real fruit. So we need to, or raw fruit. So you need to check that. I have a smoothie every afternoon, but I check. I go to Smoothie King and I know the calories. I know everything in the smoothies that I get. I got about 3 or 4 that I rotate around. So you have to make a decision, and I'm basing this on being a former weight loss coach, and you're trying to lose weight. What should you eat? How much of fruit should you eat? And I stand by eating an apple or pear, it's 13, 14 grams of sugar, over that Snickers bar or the donuts or whatever. But it's better for you. Hey, strawberries. If you got the strawberries, if you eat them plain, of course, if you eat them with the cream and stuff, it's a different story. A lot of it has to do what we eat. We might say, well, I ate some strawberries, but what did you eat it with? The avocado. Obviously, I'm not going to eat plain avocado. I'm going to have something to go with it. So I guess when I was telling people to eat an apple, I'm not going to say I was wrong, because they knew what I meant. When I say something online, people they just hear me say eat an apple. They don't know my reasoning for telling somebody to eat an apple instead of eating the junk. I kind of stand by that. But man, some of the like the mangoes, that blows my mind. 45 grams in a cup. You be careful with your mangoes if you're trying to lose weight. Be careful with your grapes if you're trying to lose weight. Some of the things they tell us. Be careful with your bananas. Be careful with those really high grade, and the figs. Man, be careful. Figs, even your melons. Your melons are normally around, I think, 15 to 18 grams. But just be careful with those ones that got so much sugar in them. So this is just another way to help you with your weight loss. Thinking about your fruit, thinking about your snacks. That's what we got to do. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, like the video. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. And I've got some more foods I'm going to talk about in the next few videos, especially with Thanksgiving, Christmas coming, even Halloween. My next video might just be about Halloween candies. Talk to you later.